Hi, my name is Jessica Osterday, and I am making this little video today to talk about how brain spotting works or why it works. Um, as to set the backdrop, typically people come to me because they're experiencing discordant emotional or behavior patterns, and they don't feel like they have the option or they don't know how to feel something else or to choose a different behavior in response to a situation. And this might look like something really simple, like, gosh, I'm really stressed all of the time. Like work is really hard. I have my kids. And at the end of the day, I just feel like I can't unwind. Like I just feel like I'm stuck on in this anxiety and like I know I should be able to, but I just can't quite turn it off. Like I just feel this buzzing in my body and my mind will spin and I just sometimes I can't even sleep, which I know doesn't help either, and I just don't know how to change this, right? So we have sometimes we kind of get stuck in these patterns um that aren't actually serving us anymore. I mean, obviously we know that we're human. We try right the most we can, but sometimes like we just can't quite get over these things, and that's that's why people usually come to me. So how brain spotting works is the first thing is that create a really strong connection between the client and the practitioner. And what that does is it creates a safety, like kind of a container of safety, so that we can go and meet those deep places inside, the sources of, you know, why we're unable to unwind at the end of the day, why we feel stuck on, and or why we feel angry in a situation that maybe doesn't really warrant it, or why we can't seem to just choose something else, right? So typically the reason why this connection is so important is that mainly when we've had the hardest times in our lives, it's often because we felt very alone, or we felt like the people around us couldn't understand us or wouldn't help us, right? Those are very traumatic events, whether it's emotionally or physically, because we're mammals, right? We thrive in connection, and we also heal in connection. So the first one is we create a strong relationship between the client and the practitioner. The second thing is with we find together the connections between the behavior patterns or emotions that you're wanting to see shift, and the brain connection and the body connection, right? So we're sort of triangulating this, and in doing that, we're reaching the subconscious parts of the brain where our reactivity and our behavior patterns are really like those are the source of those things. Our conscious mind is really great, right? Our neocortical mind is fantastic. Like when someone is in a behavior pattern of like being, in their adult brain and being happy and calm, like this rational part of the brain is very active. But when we go to those deeper senses of being triggered and hurt, that's a deeper part of the brain. So in brain spotting, we meet those spots. And then the third part is that we help to regulate the amygdala. So that's number three. We go into those deep places, and together through the brain spotting, through the process, and if you want to know more about that, you can go to the setup video. We help to regulate and bring the amygdala into neutrality. So the amygdala acts kind of as an assessor in our brain, and it assesses whether or not something is safe and good and okay, or unsafe and requires a stronger reaction. And so it will send the chemical impulses out, and or it's responsible for allowing the chemical impulses to go out, right? So it's assessing in order to see, okay, do I act like this is a safe and happy environment, or do I act like this is not okay? And so it's responsible for the fight, flight, fawn, or freeze responses. And when we get to that part of the brain, it is an unconscious process. It happens about 10 times faster than the conscious mind. So what we do is we help to balance and bring into neutrality the amygdala. And so it's amazing that we have the tools in order to do this, right? And it's incredible that brain spotting works as well as it does, because, you know, it gives us the opportunity to create more options for our lives, which is really powerful. I mean, I've experienced in my life, and I have the privilege of watching other people experience it on a regular basis. And it's really powerful, because I think one of the hardest things about being human sometimes is feeling like we know what we want to be doing, we know what we should be doing, we know what we want to be feeling, we know what we should be feeling, but sometimes there's a disconnect between those things. And there are ways to bridge that gap. Um, so yeah, we basically together, just in summation, we go to the neuropsychological sources of the emotional pain, physical pain, trauma, dissociation, and we allow the brain to come into regulation so that we can be more, as mindfulness practitioners would say, be more present with what is, versus then stuck in a pattern that isn't really serving us anymore. So if you want to learn more, please contact me, PM me, email me, scroll down, schedule a discovery session. I would love to hear from you, and we can talk about, you know, if this might be a good option for you to meet life a little bit differently. So thank you so much. There's other videos. Follow me on Facebook. I deeply appreciate you, and hope you have a beautiful day.